Hey Jeff, it's Steve Garrison here. It's time for another Top 250 podcast with you. How you doing? What's going on? It's been a while since our M&A discussion about a month ago.
Hi, good afternoon, Steve. It's great to see you again. Thank you so very much for making time. It's been really busy. As you would imagine, with our focus on the global top 250, we're seeing an evolution of partners today as it relates to their capabilities, from master MSSPs to MSSPs, but also we're seeing a lot of incident responder organizations who are also delivering those types of services. So it's a busy time, especially in light of the fact that the bad actors are doing what they can to gain access.
I tell you, those guys are getting more aggressive every day. So, let's talk about incident response. I think that's a great topic for today. Look, a lot of our providers get in with that as their first at bat, but what a horrible experience. A customer's gotten breached, they're stressed out, their board might be curious about do they have the right team, the right tools? What are some of the things that we can help people avoid that experience, Jeff?
Ideally, the goal is to be proactive. Ideally, is to have layers upon layers upon layers of cybersecurity tools to help eliminate that. The challenge for MSSPs and customers is too many tools. It's way too much information. So how do you solve that? And that's where Stellar Cyber comes in, right? We have the ability to aggregate, enrich, normalize, and then correlate all that data in a much more useful and efficient manner. But also our goal there with regards to Stellar Cyber and its reporting capabilities, leveraging the coverage analyzer is a really great example. We're helping organizations identify with their customers how to be risk averse, right? They're trying to eliminate potential risks that they have out there as it relates to exposures or gaps.
Yeah.
Obviously, when it comes to an incident, no one wants to have it. But ideally, if you have the tools and the correct setup and potentially the right MSSP, you might be able to eliminate that.
We can't assume everybody knows what our coverage analyzer is, Jeff, and it's not a pen tester. It's not a tool that you would use to prevent an attack. But could you talk a little bit more about what it does and how it helps people understand their maturity, their attack surface coverage? And, no, I think the biggest problem out there is a lot of customers are risk adverse simply because vendors have oversold. They've come in and said, if you buy my Uber widget, life is great and you'll never get attacked. Now, we know that's not right. But at the same time, they've lost trust in vendors. So help me understand what the coverage analyzer actually does and how an MSSP would actually use it to broker, here it comes, a consultative conversation before they sell anything.
Yeah, it's a really great question. I think, ideally, when you look at the challenges that organizations are trying to solve for today, both end customers, MSSPs, service providers, et cetera, they don't have much of an opportunity to say no to compliance, right? When it comes to HIPAA, PCI, et cetera, those are areas that are business level concerns for organizations today. And when you look at Stellar Cyber and its reporting capabilities, we have what we call the coverage analyzer. And the coverage analyzer actually is a baseline report that measures against a customer, a single tenant or a customer's current status as it relates to their posture from a security perspective. So we're leveraging the MITRE ATT&CK framework and we're analyzing that customer's environment, both from a reactive standpoint, but also in a proactive manner. The goal of the coverage analyzer is to provide risk assessment of a specific tenant, gaps, exposures. And when we can do that quickly and efficiently, then we've really addressed an opportunity for our MSSPs to create opportunity or revenue, eliminate gaps in exposure, or choosing the right customers, right? When you're out there and you do a proof of concept, leveraging the coverage analyzer gives our partners the ability to identify potential risks if customers are unwilling to remediate things that need to be addressed before they come on and engage with a service provider or an MSSP.
That's wonderful. And I get the sense that it's an overlay tool, or it's a non-sticky tool. It can come in and go, and it doesn't require the customer to do any real work. Is that correct?
That's correct. Actually, it's entirely free. It's part of our reporting structure. And when you can provide something of value for free and then turn that into an opportunity in with regards to either advisory or consulting services, or leverage that level of detail against the MITRE ATT&CK framework and then deliver that to an insurance broker and identify potential insurance carriers to provide insurance, cyber insurance to those end customers, that's pretty powerful. And being that it is free, it's getting better and better every year. So we're on the second version of the coverage analyzer, and we're seeing more and more organizations today looking to be risk adverse, and the coverage analyzer helps them do that.
I was hoping you'd bring up the Risk Shield insurance program because it seems like that would be part of our story. And of course, we know it is. And it sounds like you just saw our recent press release on version 2 coming out on the coverage analyzer, Jeff. So it's great to see our own employees well informed. And it seems like the marketing team is doing their work as well, which is always good to see. Jeff, what are your closing thoughts for this episode in terms of IR? Right, where should a provider be in terms of IR? Should they lead with that, or should it just be one of the tricks in their tool bag to have a consultative ice-breaking conversation?
It's a really great question. I think, the value that I have seen from MSSPs that are wildly successful leverage their whole stack of capabilities. They have the ability to be an advisor, both in a consultative way and a reactive way. They have the ability to deliver incident response when applicable. They have the ability to deliver MSSP services, but then they also branch out from a reporting to include consulting standpoint in compliance, posture analysis on an everyday basis. The other thing is to think about from a standpoint of these companies themselves are going through M&A, right? They do analysis of choosing the right customers or potential targets. Our tool set at Stellar Cyber gives them the greatest ability to be flexible, providing the greatest level of insight as it relates to cybersecurity, but also from a standpoint of incident response, compliance, managed services, managed cybersecurity services. There's not many other organizations that have the ability to provide that to our partners within a single license, single platform.
Well, Jeff, I run marketing here, and I absolutely agree with that premise. So let's keep rocking, and we'll see you next month, folks. We appreciate you watching this month's view of Top 250 maker, Jeff Hill. Say goodbye, Jeff. Talk to your audience.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate you paying attention today. And Steve, thanks for the questions.
All right. We'll see you next month, Jeff. Thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye.